Hi. We are Mind Vibe with Teresa and Kirsten. Are we live?
I don't think so. Hang on a second.
Okay.
Should I try again?
Try again. We have
Technical difficulties. We've been having them.
This is like the third or fourth week.
We're getting a little bit
over it. Go scroll up if you can.
Yeah, so bear with us.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we can try. We'll try this one more time,
and then if not,
then not.
Then not.
Okay. Moving on.
Moving on.
Take these off. Take one. Wow.
Welcome to Mind Vibe.
It's always something new and different. You just never know what to expect, which makes it also more fun, right?
Right. So welcome to Mind Vibe with Teresa and Kirsten. We normally do a radio show, but unfortunately, hi, Debbie. Hello. Unfortunately, we can't connect to the radio.
No, we can't. We've been sitting here trying. It's saying that they're having problems with their system. So really nothing that we can do about it except,
just roll.
Hey.
We're just going to roll.
So it's good that we're doing Facebook Live because now we still get to do
what we love to do.
Yeah.
So welcome everybody. This is where we love every week we come together and we love to have conversations and inspire, empower. We love to get real. Yeah. We love to dig deep and explore and expand with our passion. And,
we hope to grow. We hope to grow with all of you, like the things that we've learned and have come across, and we want to share. Yeah. And we want to learn from you. So
yes. So please interact with us, and that would be awesome. We love to questions. We love questions. That's what we loved too about doing the radio show, is that you can actually call into us if you wanted to. But now you can type to us, and
so we can chat.
Yeah.
Nice.
I almost feel like I need to bring it closer, but we're going to leave it.
Okay.
Whatever
you
we're just going to roll.
I'm going to go
because that's what we do. So you want to talk to them what we're going to do today? Because we didn't tell anybody what we were going to do today.
Yeah. And it's about resiliency.
Yes.
What is it? If you think about it, what is resiliency? What does it mean to you?
Yeah.
What do you think it is?
Well, I feel it's like overcoming something, like getting through something, bouncing back. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like getting, like if something happens or whatever, and then you just learn how to bounce through it, walk through it, roll through it. Like today.
Right.
We didn't even plan that. Oh my gosh.
I know.
See how that works?
That was worked out really well. You never,
the
universe is working with us.
It always is. The universe always has your back. It does. So what does it mean to you?
I agree that, I've always associated it with like bounce back. Mm-hmm. How do you bounce back from an event? And, I also thought of it, resiliency is like, oh, I'm just going to plow through it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think like my studies with positive psychology showed a little different, that resiliency, for some people, I think some people have a point that's just a higher point for resiliency than others. I think it's easier for some people, and I think they're born that way. I really do. But resiliency is also something that you build. It's like a muscle.
It is like a muscle. Everything that you want to change in your life, I always describe it like that too. It's like a muscle. You got to build a muscle. You go to the gym to build a muscle. Yeah. You got to do the same, whatever it is in your life, whatever you're working on.
I agree. It is. It's just it's a muscle, and I think we want to believe that it's. But so there's a couple different ways that we could talk about it. I was thinking first time maybe we could just talk about the spiritual side, like the spiritual side of resiliency. Okay. And so if you're trying to plow through it, right? If you're just going to try to plow through it, and oftentimes things will persist with you. Like, so it's one thing to plow through it and try to jump over it, but it takes a lot of energy.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can have, you might just need to go, okay, whatever the difficulty is, whatever the stumbling block might be, what if you were to just take a little bit of moment and go, okay, I can't, this is what is, this is the awareness of this is what I'm going through. This is what I'm experiencing right now.
Yeah.
And instead of trying to run from it or hide from it or beat it down, because we know anything that you resist, it will persist. It will chase you.
It doesn't go anywhere. You always have to face it eventually. So it's better just to be in the present moment with it, and I've always pretty much tried to do that. And it seems to go away faster, because when you present to it, when you hit it head on, you can't jump around it. You got to just roll. You got to go with it.
Mhm.
And then you find out that you come better on the other side,
Right.
you know, and then you're able to let some of that stuff go so you can move forward, because
Mhm.
it's like that old saying, if you're constantly looking back, right,
Yeah.
you can't ever really move forward.
Right.
So
Exactly. I
Yeah.
couldn't agree more. And I think it's scary though, because people that touches into your vulnerability. So if you have to go, wait, why am I feeling, you know, here's a struggle that I'm going
Mhm.
through. What is it about it that's so hard for me?
Right. But remember, vulnerability is not weakness, though. People feel that it's weakness. It's actually having the courage.
It's strength, but
pulling it up.
it's not. It's so, but it's that's easy to say.
It's easy to say.
It's just
Yes.
not hard to implement.
Exactly.
I mean, it can be hard to implement.
Right.
So I think that getting to know it. So first thing is just becoming. You have to be present with it,
You do.
and you have to, and then you got to take a little breath and experience. Okay, the why. You know, what is it that you're? If it's fear, what is it that you're afraid of?
Mm-hmm.
You know, through this struggle, it could be a loss of a job. I mean, it could be grief. I mean, it could be the loss of someone.
Oh, yeah, that's a
I mean,
hard one.
And that's not like you're just going to skip over that.
No, you can't. You got to work through it.
You have to go. You have to step
Yeah.
into it. And
There's
then,
steps to it. There's a reason why there's steps to it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You got to step
Mhm.
into it, and then ultimately grow from that.
Yeah.
And just open to the possibility of growth, or open to, you know, let it be something that creates an awakening for you.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be an absolute passage
Mm-hmm.
into something even that unexpected and down
You
the road.
didn't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we can just go, it doesn't have to denote to bad.
Right. It doesn't. Oh, thank you for saying
Yeah.
that. It doesn't always have to be bad.
It can be hard.
It can be hard.
It's going to be hard. Let's not sugarcoat that.
No,
it's going to be
it's gonna be hard. And the thing is when you grow, you have to get uncomfortable. We talk about this every week.
I know. It comes down to the same. It does all come down to the same thing.
It
but
does.
It's hard.
I know. I'm falling off.
Oh
Booster
no.
seat.
Oops. All right. So can be hard, but not bad.
Absolutely.
And I think that people actually there was a study about that. Can I?
Mhm.
Is this a good
Yes,
time to say
please,
that?
please.
Okay.
Yes.
There was this study about and Kelly McGonigal, and she's done a lot of work in this area, and also she's done a lot of work with pain management and yoga, I believe.
Mhm.
She's a pretty fascinating researcher. But I just wanted to talk about. She followed 30,000 people for 8 years.
Wow.
Okay, and she asked them questions like this: how much stress did you have last year? Okay, so she asked that.
That would be hard.
Yeah, I mean,
How do
you gauge that?
Yeah, that would be tough.
But I think it's, you know, your answer will be how you feel.
True.
And then the second question was, do you believe stress is harmful for your health?
Yes.
Okay. Well, interesting, right? Interesting.
That's
Hold
what
your
we're taught.
hat for just a minute.
Okay.
Because then they track, you know, like who died and what happened to them and
Right.
whatnot.
Right.
And so okay, here we go. There you go.
We love our notes.
I know. I want to keep on track because it's important, and I don't want to get it wrong.
This is big stuff.
So the stress showed that the people that went under some stress,
Mhm.
right,
Mhm.
and 43% of them had health problems, right? So they weren't really. So there was a 43% increase in moderate stress for them.
Mhm.
But the people that had the most resiliency and did the best were the individuals who were in the highest stress point, but believed that it did not harm your health.
Really?
So they had the most amount of stress,
Mhm.
but
Didn't.
least amount of effect on their body and their
Yeah.
health, because they didn't buy
They didn't buy into
perception-
it.
Yeah, their perception was.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, that is interesting, because all you hear right now,
Mhm. I'm asking a group
Okay.
something.
all you hear right now is how harmful stress is on your body. I mean,
Mhm.
that's what we hear.
Right.
And I thought, you know, this is kind of a new impact
Mhm.
on, the way you perceive stress.
Yeah.
And that, you know, and I sort of feel that way. You know, it's like,
Thank you.
I'm a huge proponent of eating healthy,
Yes.
but I also think if you think something is going to hurt you, you know, and the way you bring it in and the
Mhm.
energy that you allow it to come in,
Mhm.
then it's going to create problems in the body, resistance. And
I agree with that. 100%.
so I love this study
Mhm.
that it showed that high stress level, and they came out the best because they
Mhm.
didn't believe it affected their health. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
That's something new to think about, because we hear it
Mhm.
all the time. So we don't necessarily have to buy into that.
No, we don't.
It's just something we have to go through.
Right.
So instead of looking at it as bad,
look at it as
something I have to go through.
Yes. Yeah. I love that.
I do too. And I thought, wow, that's kind of, there's a lot of freedom in
Sorry.
that. You know, I'll kind of give you a little shade. there's probably your curtain for me.
Okay.
So there's freedom in that.
There is freedom of that.
And I think it kind of makes me go, oh, you know,
it takes the pressure off, doesn't it? It's just kind of like,
oh, this is just something I'm going through.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
I don't have to allow it to take over.
Yeah. And it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy because when we're so used to, we have patterns. We're a pattern. That's what humans are. We get into these patterns, right? And then we just it becomes second nature to us. So when we try to break that, it's like change. You break that change. It's very difficult to do.
It is.
So
it is. And I think part of the reason people have trouble with going into resiliency is they're not able to be present. And instead they go to those habits. They go to those things to numb.
Yes.
To avoid. And then you've got addictions and just total avoidance of any kind, whether that's withdrawal from a relationships or, you know, stepping into trouble, you know, your troubled patterns. And
Yes.
So there you go.
There you go.
So I thought that was a really interesting study, and I wanted to be sure that we shared that.
Yes, thank you for that. And welcome everybody that's joining on. Hello. We are so excited. I'm noticing that people are popping on. So yay. See how that comes up over there?
Oh, very cool. This is my first Facebook Live.
Yes. So. And I do them all the time, and I love them. And it's so funny if you're just bouncing on. Our radio thing was having technical difficulties, so we just said, forget the radio. We're just going live here. So this is what we love to do. So if you're bouncing on, thank you everybody for coming in. We are talking about
resiliency.
Yes.
And what does it mean to you?
And what does it mean to you?
Anybody out there? What does resiliency mean to you?
Yeah. Let us know. Give us some comments, some questions. We love that. We'll it's a little far away, but we can still do it.
We'll make it happen. We improvise.
We do.
Because we're resilient.
We're resilient. And with this radio show, we have to be resilient.
We have. We just got some really good momentum, and we were excited.
Yes.
Everybody was like, "Oh, we're listening to it." In the last 3 weeks, we can't. There's been difficulties either on our end or their end. You know.
Today is their end.
Their end. And last week too.
Last week
literally
too.
just dropped us.
It just dropped us.
Mid-show. We're like,
yeah. We're
That's
like,
not
what?
good.
We
Ruh-roh.
finally ruh-roh.
That was
We're really goofy.
We are, and that's who we are. That's what I like. I'm just and I'm a big note person because I like think of things, and then once I get talking about things, I'll get off track. So I just want to make sure that I bring myself back. So if you're going to see me down,
she's looking at her notes.
Yeah.
And then I'm over here just
But I wanted to so let's go back, because I know this is our expertise, right? Yours especially, is if we were to go back to the spiritual aspect of it, right? So how, gaining, what are some techniques that you're able to use for yourself if you want to share, but like how do you grow from the experience that you're in? Like, and I know for every step it might be different, but the stress can actually grow you.
Right.
Do you have any examples where you can recall that time in your life where you're like, oh, you know what? That is exactly what happened at the time. It was tough, but
I mean, there's been a lot of things that have in my life that have been, challenging and tough, but I'm one of those people that I don't claim it. I don't know. I think back in the day, I would used to call it, like, people would say, oh, she's just denying it or running from it, but I really wasn't. I literally would hand it over. Like I would say, okay, God, take this from me, because I just don't know what to do with the situation. And spiritually, that's what you do. Hey, take it from me. Meditation was huge. I talk about this every week. It's big for me. I would give it, like, I just meditate on it, or I'd be like, okay, and I really do believe, and I believe this wholeheartedly, and I have my whole life, is that I always know things will work out. I know that they will. And I know that if I stay focused on my now, and I stay focused on what's important to me, I know that I will bounce back from it. And I literally hand it over. And you'll hear me say, I'm sure you've heard me say that all the time. Like, well, okay, just take this from me, or thank you for taking this. I'm constantly grateful for anything, even the bad. And I think you've also, okay, so this really stinks, but this happened. So, this could happen, or how am I going to handle this? I could handle it this way, but is that really the right way to handle it? Probably not. So let me figure out another way to handle it. And I always try to look at the positive, always try to look at the positive. And I think it's really helped me and helped some people close to me in my life too, because I think we feed off of each other that way. I'd be like, okay, let's try it this way, or let's try it that way.
I think I've been that way too. I'm always looking to be proactive.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is where, so I'm immediately researching, or I'm trying to figure out the next, okay, I believe there's a way through this. I believe there's a way through this illness. I see that. I know there's a possibility for it.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the important aspects of resiliency that they talk about in positive psychology, is the belief that you can get through it.
Yeah.
And then when you do get through that, and that doesn't mean it's not painful,
nothing
isn't uncomfortable.
Yeah. I mean, nothing's easy. If it was easy, we wouldn't really learn from it. We wouldn't go through it, and we wouldn't learn, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I am a thriver of knowledge. I love to learn. And I feel like these things come to us for a reason, and it's just how you handle it, what you do with it, and how you come out on the other side. It's just stepping into it and not being afraid of it. Like I always say, fear, FEAR, face everything and rise. You run with that. Just face it head on, and you will get through it. But it isn't easy.
It isn't easy. And the other thing that I would say is you don't have to do it alone, because when we get in those situations, we typically fall into the separation, or with, and support. And it's proven through research that people with connections and support and nurturing have more resiliency.
They do.
And so we weren't meant to do it alone.
No.
And you don't have to do it alone.
You don't have to.
You have us. If you need anybody, contact us. But and I think that we're meant for connection. And I think that nurturing breeds resiliency.
Yes, I agree 100%.
When you look at don't be afraid. And you can, if you need to find, and it can be hard for some people to make friends, but reach out to anybody, because on the other side of that, people want to help you.
They really do.
Everybody wants to help.
Everybody wants to help.
So you can find a support group. You can start a support group. Now you have the internet, which is at least a start.
Yes.
And you might be able to connect with people, and then be able to get a connection physically to be able to do a book club or lunches.
Something.
Reach out to churches. Reach out to health centers and holistic healing. Anything that you can do to not go through it alone. Therapist, anything. So we all need that.
We do need that. We all need that, feeling that connection. Like you said earlier, the connection's huge. The support, even if it's somebody that just listens to you and maybe not even give you input. It just sometimes, don't you notice that though? Don't you feel like sometimes you just need someone's ear?
Yep.
And you just like, for me, I have to talk things out loud. So I just have to say it out loud. And it's not, and I always figure it out.
Can solve the world's problem in the car.
Yeah. Oh, I love the car. La, 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 la.
And now you don't have to think about people are like, she's talking to herself, because they think you're on the phone.
Yeah. It's a great thing.
I find myself, all of a sudden I'll be in my house or wherever, and the kids are like, Mom, are you talking to yourself? I'm like, I believe I am.
Maybe.
I believe I am.
And I'm answering myself too.
And I'm okay with that. And then they get a good kick out of it.
Yeah, right.
Oh well.
So
okay. So talking about support. Right?
Support.
That's one of the biggest predictors of people building resiliency is support.
Yeah. Don't be afraid of it.
Don't be afraid. Reach out.
People
want to help people.
Yes, they do.
They want to help people.
I know. I thrive on helping people.
You too. I love it. It makes you feel so, and I know that we're not alone in that. I think most people feel that way. And we're all afraid to reach out or to impose or to, I think we have a society where we isolate ourselves more and more.
Yeah.
And it'd be nice if we had more connection and community.
I agree.
Agree. And the other thing is, nurturing builds resilience, but also we already tapped it. Survival. Know that there's a possibility. I believe in my possibility to get through this. That somehow, some way, I'm gonna get through this.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean, that you have to judge it all and figure out all the answers right away. You do not. And you just get to be like, well, this is where I'm at now, because life can be pretty humbling.
Sometimes some of my students, I will say, go hour by hour, because sometimes looking at the full day or looking at 2 days, 3 days a week can be so overwhelming, especially when you're starting a new pattern of trying to go through it and trying to walk through it. And there's a lot of fear. So I'll say, you know what, get from 10 a.m. to 11. Okay. Then you got through it. Now try 11 to 12 and you got through it. And then the next day, add maybe 30 minutes, maybe add an hour. And, you know, I've done it myself. The reason I tell other people is because I've actually done it myself, and it really works. It helps not feel so overwhelming and so like, you know what I'm saying?
I do.
Yeah.
I think that that's probably something that I fall short at, because I want to figure it all out really quick, because I want to get on to the next thing. You know, I just want to be proactive, move on, get the next thing.
Right.
And let's get it solved. Right. You know, and I want to skip over that sitting with it sometimes.
Yeah, sitting in it can actually make it harder. Yeah. Sitting in it, like sitting in it can just
right. It can, but you have to be mindful that like you said, you're not running from it. You've accepted awareness, and you're very clear that this is where I'm at. And I know there's a possibility for change. So that's important, and I think that's mindfulness. And I think what happens as you get more adaptive and put in more tools, that time in between of being lost, because I mean, I'll have to say my first response to when something stressful happens isn't like, oh, go there. You know, like, oh, I'm not a victim. How am I going to grow from this? That's not my first feeling. I mean, I'm like, you know, like, I don't want to feel this, and I don't want to be here, and I don't want this to happen. And then, but what happens with time and practice and creating new neurotransmitters in your brain, right? And tapping into that frontal pre-cortex of the brain. Or did I say that right? Yeah, the front part of your brain, which is where you want to go, and that's the one that really has to get worked at. It's not as automatic. Prefrontal cortex. There it is. There it is. There's the word.
There it is.
But that's not my first response. My first response is like, oh, I don't want to do it. Yeah. But as you practice more and more, becoming mindful and awake, and allow it to really awaken you, instead of closing you down and running from it, or turning away and turning to habits that aren't healthy for you, or that don't serve you or anybody else around you. Right. And it'll get that time in between will get better.
It does get better, and it does get easier. Quicker. And it's sometimes it's very subtle too. So like sometimes if you start practicing this and you really work toward it, like the next stressful thing that might happen, all of a sudden it's not like, you know, you're like, oh, yeah. And then you like, okay, you know, this, you know,
and that might not be like in a few seconds. That may be in a few weeks, but you might find that you're there in that time less and less. Right. And I think that's what you develop. I don't think we'll ever be like, oh, you know, instantaneously. I think there's always that moment, and then you go into the action that you need to do to build your resiliency or tap into it. And
then I think another thing, and I don't know if I'm off or if I'm jumping ahead, but I think we need to honor ourselves sometimes too. Like, I don't think that we do that enough. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, especially when we go through something and we work through it. And then I don't feel like we always say, okay, you know, good job. You know, you did that, you handled it well. You know, I think we get so busy and absorbed in so many things that I think we forget to be like, good job. You know, like, wait, does that make sense?
No, 100% sense. Okay, we are our own worst critics.
Yeah,
you know, and we don't have enough compassion for ourselves, and it's about self-love.
Yeah,
I mean, it is. We're gonna encounter things, some that are our fault and some that are not, and it's going to be hard either way.
It is going to be hard.
Which leads into a really nice lead-in about some Sean Anker, who's one of the leaders in positive psychology. He talked about, he sees resilience as a way to restore instead of just persevering.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and
makes sense.
Yeah, he talked about that in our society, especially. We kind of have this militaristic idea of just like powering through it and get through it no matter what, and that is exhausting for some people. And that if you don't have enough time to restore yourself and rejuvenate, then it's really hard to tap into our ability to even have resilience.
Yeah, that makes 100% sense to me.
Yeah. And he, some of the, okay, you know what I found interesting? Listen to this.
I'm just checking, see if they, hello, everybody. Hi, Kim. Hi, Amy. Hi, Mackenzie. Heather. Hi, guys. Yay. How are you guys doing with this? Do you have any comments or anything? Is this resonating? Do you have any questions or anything?
Yeah.
We love them.
Oh, we would love to hear from you.
Yes, we would.
Okay. All right. So he talked about, so it's about the lack of recovery, right? So you can't recover, and we have so many distractions, and a lot of Americans are workaholics because we're, even at night, we're awake thinking about our job or what's next or how can we do it. So our brain never really gets a break.
No, mine doesn't.
Yeah. And so our brain needs a break just like our body does. And some of their recommendations were, when you're at work, every 90 minutes, take a break, and give your brain a break. Go, take your breaks at the same time so that you can, and put your screens down, because if you're picking up your phone of any kind, or Facebook or anything, your brain, it's the arousal, it's going, and it just needs to go talk about something else besides work and just forget about it for a little bit.
Yeah.
So really rejuvenate and take all your days off that you have, like your personal days, take your vacation days, and really have the opportunity to restore and rebuild, because it is. And this is one reason why. The lack of recovery will absolutely, in their belief, lead to health issues, more health incidents. Because if you're constantly in a brain arousal mode and you never get to slow down, you can't tap into those parts of us that can really help down regulate. Instead, we always are up regulating. And constant arousal from watching phones, whatever it might be, that constant arousal's costing companies $62 billion a year in lost productivity. $62 billion.
That's insane.
Loss of productivity because we aren't restoring ourselves enough, so we don't do as good a job.
Right.
We have more health issues. We just tired. And our brain just
exhausted.
Can't take anything else on.
Yeah.
And it needs a break. So just, those are some good reasons. And that doesn't mean it's bad.
No.
That just means that our brains need a break.
Yeah.
It needs a break. And I think they said that we pick up our cell phones on average and open them 150 times a day.
I believe that. I'm guilty.
Oh, me too.
I'm guilty of that. I have message after message, voicemail. I've got emails. I mean, and then of course I have to check my Facebook.
Well, they were saying to take your Facebook off of your main page so that you're not, constantly looking at. So you have the opportunity.
That's my newspaper.
No, I know. I'm just the messenger,
I know.
But I know it would be helpful because your brain is constantly in that.
It's constant. And you know me, I'm up all night.
I know. And
literally up all night just working on things. And
right. And if that's something that gives you joy, fine. But
I do like
technology does extend the work hour for people.
Yeah.
And they don't get to turn it off. They don't get the evenings and the holidays and the weekends like we used to.
Right. And I don't have it. I don't have my weekends. I work every day, and I don't feel like I work, but I do know that my body gets exhausted. So I need to do this. It's
true for me. I know that, I have to do that, but that's something that I've always been really good at is restoration.
I've never been.
Yeah, I've been good at
here's our yin and our yang again. Us our balance each other. Yeah. No, I'm just full force.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I started getting involved in yoga 21 years ago, just taking classes. It was just a way to handle, raising 4 kids and not having family here and, just life.
Yeah.
So, worked good for me.
That's good. I need to do that.
I know. Because the waves are going to keep coming. That quote, the waves are going to keep coming, but you can learn to surf, right? You can learn how to surf the waves. I think that's Swami Satyananda who said that. The waves are going to keep coming. So how are you going to handle the waves?
Yeah.
What are the tools and techniques that you can put in place for you? Because we can have acceptance and we can look it in, but we still then have to develop the muscle of resiliency. And it's going to be different for everyone. And there's a lot of different ways that you can do it. Gratitude is always one of my favorites.
It's my go-to for everything. I mean, you need to be grateful for everything you have or don't think you have, I mean, there's so much out there that we take for granted, and it's huge. It's huge.
It is. And even if it's just those, even not just 3 things a day, you know, that
Mhm.
what you're grateful for, what amazing thing happened to you today, or if it just gets you thinking into a different way, you know, you
Mhm.
start to notice the little things.
Yeah.
And then you start becoming about, oh, that was so nice when my daughter came home from school and shared with me that moment.
Right.
Which typically, so when you take time to really have to document some things,
Mhm.
even if you don't write it down, say that's not your thing, you just want to think about it,
Right.
you would be amazed at having that. Try it for 30 days.
Yeah.
And I would love to know if it didn't
Mhm.
it didn't help you open your eyes a little bit more and see
Yeah.
things differently and see more things.
Mhm. I mean, I do that all the time. I'm super grateful for just everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It matters.
It matters. And you know, the other thing is you'll start to see other things in your life start to come. So all of a sudden, like that one thing that you were searching for, that one thing you were looking for or trying to achieve,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden you start throwing gratitude at everything, all of a sudden that one thing that has been a challenge for you to receive, you receive it. And it goes right back to what you throw out there, you get back. And I live my life that way. You know, it's incredible how it really does work. It's a practice. I love, like I always say, 21 days to make a habit, 21 days to break a habit. You really got to be conscious of, or 30 days, you really got to be conscious of doing it every single day, you know?
And I mean, I believe it takes even longer for some people. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it can take 6 months for you to start to develop things. So don't give in to
No.
that. You know, you might fall off the wagon.
Yeah.
That's okay.
That's okay.
You just got to get back on it. And like we said, the more you practice it, the less time you'll fall off the wagon, because you'll realize it and it's not as comfortable.
Right.
You know, it doesn't serve you.
Right.
And it doesn't serve your purpose in life. And that's the other thing, that resiliency. Were you going to say it?
Yeah. I don't know if we're going to say this.
Okay,
you say it and then I'll say it.
I was going to say another thing that helps build resiliency is your purpose.
Yeah.
As knowing your purpose, defining your purpose, or just exploring and discovering what your purpose might be. And everyone has their own. I think there were some questions. Were there a couple questions that might help them that talked about finding your purpose? What were you going to say?
It was about that. It was about like all of a sudden you're going to find out what okay. There was a two-parter about finding your purpose, right? And then living your purpose and going for it and not being afraid to go for it. But I just drew a blank what it was. We were talking about.
I'm sorry, that was me.
That's bad. Okay. That's okay. But sure, Shaq. Oh, what was that? Oh, it'll come to me.
Okay. Well, what do you want to ask the questions?
Yes.
So here are some purpose reflection activity from these are positive psychology stuff. So we'll alternate, right?
Okay.
Why are you?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Deep. Ooh.
Have you ever asked yourself that?
Why are you?
Why are you?
Wow.
Could you answer that?
It would take me a second.
It would take me a second. Why? Okay. What else we got?
Okay.
Why do you get up in the morning? Okay. Now this one isn't too bad for me because being raised, my dad, he used to say this, and if my family is listening, they're going to know what I'm talking about. He would say there's a fine resemblance of getting up in the morning and getting up in the world. So what are you going to be? Are you going to just get up in the morning? Are you going to get up in the world? And he would say that to us like daily when we were younger. And so I think of that every morning.
You need to put that somewhere.
I do.
That needs to be a quote in your Revive. Like that.
We'll put it on this wall.
That's beautiful.
Because
it's about showing up.
It's about showing up and being present every single day. And then what are you going to do with you? It sets the seed. What are you going to do for that day? Are you going to mope and grope, and are you going to just to go amount hour to hour? Are you going to just really grab the day and make it the best day? Because that's another thing I say to myself is every single day I say this. I've told you this. I've told everybody this. I wake up, I think of, and I say this, today's going to be the best day of my life. And I believe it because it is. I'm setting the seed. I'm not going to accept it not to be a good day. I might have things hit me. I might have some stress. But I don't let it dictate my day to go from like up here to down here, because I'm self-talking to myself. Today is going to be the best day of my life. Well, and it usually is.
Well, that's great. And just keep building on that one after the other.
You do, you know, it's showing up.
And not just creating that, you know, we now know that there's some neuroplasticity with the mind, so that the brain, so you can create that.
Yeah.
You know, a little, the more you do that, the more that your mind begins to go there automatically.
It does.
And
it does.
It's,
You're rebuilding
it's
it.
Yeah, you are. And there may be, you know, and for some people it's who are going through really, I mean, tough things.
times. Yeah.
It may just be like, I just got to find one thing today
that makes you happy.
I'm going to drink some water, you know, and I'm going to call a friend.
Yeah.
And I think it's a really good idea to have somebody, if you're going through a rough time, call somebody and say, listen, I just need you to check on me.
Yeah.
For like the next couple weeks, call me. And I'm struggling.
Yeah.
And reach out.
Reach out is huge. Another thing too is like, I'll say, do one thing that makes you happy for the day, and then do one thing that makes someone else happy. And then that you could try that too. And that kind of helps.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
then the next question that they have are, what keeps you awake at night?
Ooh, good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. A lot keeps me up at night, but mine's all like, I'm very creative. I get really, really creative when everyone else is sleeping. I do a lot of my, you know, spiritual work, but I get so creative. So that goes back to not shutting that mind off. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, that's
that's my thing.
Yeah.
Okay. When are you most alive?
You know what?
No.
You know, and people will say the first thing that comes to mind, and then you'll try to think your way out of that.
That's true.
Because you're not really doing it.
That's true.
Yes. Most of us are not. You know
You're
what I mean? So, so let's say it again.
One.
That's worth saying
again. Okay, say it again. When are you most alive? Can you share some of these with us? Some of these questions with us? Nice quote for your day.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
a great quote.
Isn't that good? You're right, though. We need to be. It needs to be in here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah, it does. I love that.
All right, here's another one, guys. What does being successful mean to you?
Our peanut gallery.
I know, I love it. Our assistant keeps us laughing.
She's dancing.
So, what does being successful mean to you?
Okay, I just did a segment on this.
Did you?
Yeah.
What does successful mean to you?
It means showing up every day.
Like your daddy said.
Just like my daddy said, showing up every day and just being present and doing what I love. That's success.
Yeah, and you know what? Kirsten's a really good example of that. It's what she does. She doesn't just say that. She's doing it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And number 6.
How might you apply your gifts to pursuit that is? Deepest interest. Okay. Let me try that again. Okay.
Take 2.
Okay. How might you apply your gifts to pursuit that is of deep interest to you and help others?
That's nice.
That's nice. These are things that, do you ever just like think about things like this? Because they're good.
They are good. And I think, you know, asking yourself questions is really important. You know, it's about asking a good question.
Yes.
To get a good answer.
Yes, it is.
It's critical.
It's critical. It holds you accountable.
It does. It really does. Okay. And what can you do to make a difference in one person's life today? Which we already talked about.
We just kind of talked about that. Yeah.
But those are nice. Those are some just nice. What is my purpose?
What is my purpose? Why am I alive?
I'm here.
Or why am I here? We know why we're alive.
Right.
But
we hope.
We hope. Okay, let me just see. Hello, everybody. And okay, do you guys have any answers to some of those questions that we just asked? They are pretty deep. I think you do have to sit back and like really think about them for a minute.
You do. I mean, they may not come to mind, but they're worth. If
one
question stuck out to you, and you're like,
oh, yeah, then I would ponder that.
And so, already talked about gratitude.
Talked about gratitude.
It helps build and random acts of kindness.
Yes. Yep.
Which, you know, you say it, but do we do it enough? We do that because it takes we have this negative bias. I mean, it's the way our brain works. We're wired for the negative. It's from surviving.
Yes.
Right? But if you think about that, our brain and we are wired for negativity. So one criticism, you know how it sticks with you? The negative sticks with us.
We just think about it and think about it, and we can't let it go. Let it go. Yeah, I know.
So just think about this. One criticism, it takes about 3 to 5 positive remarks to counter that one criticism. Yeah. So if you're telling yourself that you're not good, or you're constantly criticizing yourself,
you're going to believe it.
You are. So really go, okay, if you can start to catch yourself saying, I'm so bad at that. Ooh, you know, like, okay, so quickly lay down a few things that you are good at, or I'm willing, or I'm open to the possibility that I'm going to improve.
Yeah.
You know, I'm getting better every day.
Yeah.
You know, whatever, you don't have to commit to, I'm fantastic at it.
Right.
Right. We know that's not realistic.
Right.
But what is realistic is I'm open to the possibility of change.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that takes the pressure off.
It does take the pressure off,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
but it's remembering to do it.
Just the awareness.
The awareness of remembering to, like, if you say something bad about yourself, is to counteract it with something good. I mean, I've been guilty of that myself.
I am too.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it applies to talking about other people too.
Yes.
So, you know, one of my mentors, he was fantastic. Dr. Cart said to me, you know, you're constantly in vigilance with other people. So when you're talking to them or about yourself, you're either praising them and praying for them or cursing them.
That's true.
You know, like, so what do you want to do in life, and how do you want it?
Yeah.
Because it's that makes us accountable for what we say to people.
It's true.
You know,
because, like, I think of it like this. I don't want people talking about me. So why would I talk about them? So, yeah.
So emotions are really important. And I think that's a part of a lot of meditations can tap into that, but it isn't just thinking it, it's actually feeling it that gives you more of the neuroplasticity.
Yeah.
Then your brain really starts to believe it because it experiences what it feels. So when you can say it, but when you can start to feel the emotion that you want to obviously have with that, that's when change can really start happening faster.
Yeah, it can.
There's a lot of science behind that.
And one thing, like, well, we work with emotions a lot, so with other people and ourselves, but when we don't deal with our emotions, and what happens is they show up physical in the body, and then you have to deal with the pain and everything, because so it's better just to deal with them.
Yeah.
Somehow figure out how to deal with them. You know, you can get help with them all the time, and like we said earlier, find that buddy, you know, go get professional help, whatever it may be. So
people want to help people. I can't say that enough.
I know. So true.
So what if we talked about, since gratitude is one of the quickest ways to help build resiliency, there are some great ways to do it.
Okay.
You know, besides just like, so what we talked about was 3 things.
Yep.
But there's also those letters of gratitude. I think that you do that. Do you?
I do that.
Yeah. Letters of gratitude.
And gratitude jars.
Gratitude jars.
I do the jars. So I'll like put something I'm thankful for in a jar, or I'll write a bunch of things out, and then every day or whenever I'll pick out of it, and that was what I'll be grateful for that day. Or, I mean, you can do it any way you want. You know, I kind of change it up, but I'm huge on writing and journaling, and I have a gratitude journal. I'm sorry. Yeah. So
I think a great way to do something nice for someone else, which puts me in a place of gratitude, is because I'm really in gratitude for all of them that I'm talking about. Like, let me explain. I love bomb people.
Yeah.
So I take little sticky notes and I'll put like, I would do this on people's presents, or if I know one of my kids is having a tough day, maybe I'll come in, their mirrors covered with all these things that I love about them and that I appreciate about them. And, you know,
that's a great idea.
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's such a good feeling to walk in and
see these beautiful sayings.
Yeah, how somebody sees you. And I think that's what we all need when we're talking about nurturing and supporting each other. I think it's that, to be seen.
Yeah, to be seen.
To be seen and to be heard. And we all want that. And it's important. I think it's necessary. I mean, it's not just important, it's a part of survival. And there's research that shows that kids who don't get that nurturing when they're really young have a harder time with resiliency.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean as an adult you can't make the changes, and you can build it, because it's possible, and it's a muscle, and you can develop. So what you didn't get then, you can get now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's not necessarily, it may be harder, but it's possible, but it may not be as natural for you because you didn't have it as a child.
Got to work at it.
You will, and you'll get there.
Yeah,
you will get
definitely.
there.
Definitely.
All right.
What
what other gratitude things? Letter of gratitude, writing something really special to someone about them.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Why you're thankful for them.
Yeah.
Right.
Why I'm thankful for them, or you know, it could be even like, hey, sometimes people don't write letters anymore. They text or email. So I might even do like a text of, hey, you know, it was really great that you went and, you know, ran that errand for me, or thank you so much. Or I'm big on letting people know that I appreciate them, because I do, like, especially like you guys here, you know, I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate that you even want to work here. And I'll say that, thank you for like ringing that person up for me. I didn't have time. I appreciate that.
Mhm.
So just little things. It could be big, little, it doesn't matter. Just
Yeah,
letting people know,
Right.
So I think that's important too.
I do too. I think that there's just not enough of that.
No.
You can never get it. No one can ever get enough of that, right?
I know. It makes you feel good when people know that you appreciate them or you're
Mhm.
thankful or grateful for something they did
Mhm.
or said, or just being in the room. Like, hey, thanks for driving along with me, so I wasn't alone, or
Exactly.
whatever it could be.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
I couldn't, that's an awesome way of putting it. But like you said, no one writes letters, but you could start a text of thank yous. You could do email every day, get up and send an email of gratitude to someone new.
Sometimes I'll do those motivate because I'm all about motivation.
Mhm.
So sometimes I'll send people a motivational quote or a picture with a quote on it. And I'll just it's usually text for me just because it's easy and fast,
Yeah.
But I'll send that out to some people too. Sometimes I just feel like somebody needs a little something. I might not have talked to them in a while, but I'll just I'm just feeling it. So I'll send it out.
Yeah.
And just getting something sometimes makes people feel like, oh, or thanks, or I wasn't even thinking about that, but thanks, So.
All right. So gratitude, all kinds of ways to tap into that and build
Yes.
resiliency.
Yes.
Okay.
Let me check here.
What about laughter?
Oh, yes. Well, you know me.
Yeah.
I'm that's all I do is laugh.
Yeah. I mean,
I laugh at myself. So, but I laugh all the time.
Yeah. But I think that's a good way to get resiliency.
It is.
And I don't think we can do it enough. I don't think there's enough. And we certainly don't play enough, right?
No.
As adults, like the opportunity to go play and have some fun. And and talking about being digitally connected all the time.
Yeah.
The world is all the time on their phones. I have a funny story that happened this morning.
Ooh, let's hear it. Yes.
So I have found this new, I'm all about fitness. I have been for a long time. Teach yoga, learn to be a personal trainer. Like I'm about it. But I also notice that but the reason I do is I hold stress and emotional stress in my body. And I have to do that in order
to release it.
That's just the way I operate. So I've noticed that I'm working out, but I'm still feeling a lot of stress. I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of what's caught. And I do Qigong, which helps a lot.
You guys haven't done Qigong?
It's a great practice.
Love it.
It's a great practice. Just a great
I can't even stop. I love it.
I do too. It's one of my favorite practices too. Do down regulate and just move energy around. But I found something that you're gonna love. We got to do it together.
Okay, what is it?
It's called Body Groove, and maybe some of y'all have heard that. It's Body Groove.
I know all about it.
Do you?
I do.
Do you do it?
No.
Why? Because
not yet.
I started streaming it, and it's kind of like dance fitness, but there's no rules. Like they kind of give you something, just everyone's doing their own thing, their own thing. And by the time that I'm done, and you're moving your body in ways you just don't normally move.
Yeah.
So this morning, it's about the 5th time that I did it. So I'm really starting to get into my groove, and I'm sticking my leg. I'm doing all this stuff. I'm starting to get into it. I'm thinking I have the house to myself. And I'm really dancing like no one's watching.
I love that.
And
let's do it.
Oh, I'm honestly thinking about getting involved. And anyway, I'll tell you about it later.
Okay.
So I go, and all of a sudden I'm moving. I'm going across the basement floor, and all of a sudden my son, I didn't even know was there.
That's awesome.
It's boo, videotaping me standing around the corner. Not only did he scare the bejeebies out of me, but he's got his phone. I'm like, I couldn't even take a therapeutic moment and not get videoed. And I just said to him,
send it to me.
No. I said, if you post that anywhere, I will pack up every single thing.
I'm going to text him and say, let me see
it. It'll be in your car and you're gone. And I said, this was my therapy, man. And so,
that's great though.
But then I said, you know what? I don't even care that he's looking. I said, Trev, this is my time. So why don't you join me?
Yeah, did he?
Even then he left the room. That scared him.
Yeah.
He got a good chuckle, and I just went, there you go, right?
Yeah.
The life that we live is everyone has to tape it,
record it.
Ay.
How fun.
That was funny.
Yeah, I've been looking at that for a while.
Have you?
Yeah.
I love it.
I want to do it. I just
Yeah,
me,
I know. It's
I'm
hard to find time.
I need to make time because I'm all about movement. I'm over here. I can't sit still. I'm all over the place. I'm all about dancing. I really think I was supposed to be a dancer. I really
she's
do.
A good dancer.
I don't know. I'd love to be a good dancer.
I went to this speaking of dancing, which was a ballroom dancing lessons.
Yeah, it was like swing dancing.
And I've always wanted to do it. So
Yeah.
I go with her and her mom, and I am telling you what, she picks up on it really fast. And I'm like, oh man, I'm stumbling around. I'm like, I need some private lessons.
You did good. She did. Don't let her fool
But
you.
I do
She
love
did
it, and I want to do it. But I do need to take some private lessons so I can keep up with the group. But that is so much fun.
yes.
Yeah, but body
I
group,
miss
what I
it.
like about body group, you don't have to be like that. You can keep it simple. It's for everyone.
It's for everybody. I do know about that. And all you got to do is you just got to move.
Mhm.
That's it.
That's it. And it's all about expression in your body.
Yeah.
And I like it because I might do exercise, but I find myself doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But when you can move the body and release things out, I've really noticed a difference. So if any of you can relate to that, look at body group. Might be for you.
Yeah. We should do it here.
I'm thinking
We need more space.
It's fun. It's a fun event. I was thinking on retreats that we do, that would be fun to do.
We're doing retreats. So keep your eyes and ears open because we are going to be doing that.
Definitely want to have one coming up in the fall, aren't we? We're going to play.
Yeah, we're going to do one in the fall.
And then in the spring, we want to go big. We're looking into some
big. Let me tell you
places
something.
out west, maybe.
Well, we got cut off. The tour.
The what?
Mind Vibe.
Oh, yeah.
So was it last week or the week before? I can't remember.
It was the week that it didn't record at all.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we've had such a hard time with that radio show, but it's not bad.
It's not bad. It's
just
that's okay.
Difficult.
We're
resilient.
resilient.
Well, we're growing from it, and it's helping us really because we're kind of going.
And it's helping us be live now because if that doesn't work, then okay. So, anyways, Mind Vibe is going on tour. So, and what do we mean by that? We're doing self-help tours. So, like, if you want us to come to your neighborhood, let us know because our calendar is, we're starting to book it.
Yeah.
And then we're going to be doing retreats, and it's going to be so great.
Right.
So,
yeah, we're going to take it on the road. And
we want
on the road. Yeah, we're on the road. So excited.
On the road again.
And Kirsten will be singing sometimes, I think. So that'll be fun.
I can come up with a song for anything. I know. Just hit me and say, stop it.
I love it. Are you kidding me? Where are we on time? What time is it?
I don't even know, girl. Oh, 1:52.
Oh, wow. That went really
That's
fast.
so fast. Did you guys learn something?
Oh, there's
Let's
somebody
see.
says. I can't even read.
Gotta go. Oh, go get beautified. Debbie, you are beautiful.
Have a great day.
Have a
great
fabulous
day.
day listening. Start the gratitude jar. Yes. See you next time. Have a beautiful day. Talking out loud. Someone, yes. Okay, awesome. Yay, yay, yay. Okay. And again, if there's a subject that you want us to talk about, please feel free to contact us. We do have a web. No, we don't. We have a Facebook page.
Yeah.
And we have an email.
Emails. Mind Vibe.
Mind Vibe.
It's myndvibe@gmail.com.
Go ahead and shoot us a little something there if you want, or go on our Facebook page and you can comment or message us there, direct message if you'd like, or you can reach us at Revive as well. But if there's something that you would love for us to talk about or dive deep into, or even have us come to your neighborhood, let us know.
Right.
We would love to do that. So
And we're also looking for anyone that that maybe needs love bombed, right?
Yes.
Who needs a little extra love, a little something that we can show up and give them a little surprise to help make their day a little brighter.
Yeah, because we are going mobile. So watch out, people. Hey, we should have our own little Mind Vibe car.
Was it like pink? Like really fun.
Sparkle.
Coming in future.
Coming
each week we
to
come up with
2020.
new reasons new things that we're going to get for our Mind Vibe revolution.
Revolution.
That's a good one. Mind Vibe revolution. I like it.
Okay, copyrighted, trademarked. It's ours.
We got it.
Don't forget that.
I better write that down.
Do we know what we're going to talk about next week, or are we going to surprise them?
Well, do you want to do procrastination take 2?
Yes.
Because that's the one that we had this great
It
hour
was so
of power.
good, you guys.
And it didn't record not a lick of it. Nothing.
Dead
air.
Daddy. We were so excited about the show, and we had all these announcements, and
that's when we announced the tour.
That's when we announced the tour. That's what
it's a big deal. It was a big one. So maybe, what do you think? You want to shoot for that?
Let's do it.
So
I think it's a big one.
Take 2.
Whoops. 2. Do that again. You're like,
I'm in. Take 2. I'm so not cool that way, but
I'm not
I take
cool.
two.
I'm the least cool person there is.
And I like it that way.
And I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with it. I've always been a little bit on the outer edge of the cool
You have
kids. All right.
Woo-woo.
So what are there any announcements that we have left? Or is there anything that we're forgetting that we're
we're
going
gonna
to coming close to the
Yes. So we are, yes. We're going to try to be on Blog Talk Radio next week at 1:00. Do we want to do live again, Facebook?
I think we need to until we
figure out
decided.
this radio show. If you guys like our show, let us know. If you don't, let us know.
Yeah, we'd love feedback either way.
Yeah, we need feedback. We want to make sure people are watching this. So if you are watching this on replay, go ahead and in the comments, you can do hashtag replay. Let us know. So we know that people are watching. If you have a comment, even if it isn't live, please leave a comment. We will reach back out to you. But please let us know, because we're here to make a difference. We're here to help people the best that we can. And we want to make sure that we're on the right track.
Yeah, we want to learn together from you, and we want to learn from each other. And
absolutely. Yeah. And if you guys aren't busy tonight at 7:30, please join Melissa and I for our fabulous Soul Awakening meditation retreat. It is amazing.
So nice.
It's like getting a full day's retreat into an hour. We play live instruments. We do a song. We have healings. We do meditation. We do instruction. We do motivation. So if you guys aren't busy, please join us at 7:30. We'd love for you to join us. It's $5. That's all it is for this amazing night. So hopefully we'll see you tonight.
Yeah, it's a great experience. I hope you guys can make it.
Yeah, it really
they're
is
amazing together. So
yeah, we love our meditations. We do. So
and it is a great way to build resiliency and give your brain a break.
Yes, absolutely.
Give your brain a break so you can build and have the ability to have resiliency.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right. Okay. So we hope it has been fun.
Thank you for being here with me and going through this experience.
Yes, we love working together. It's just kind of fun. Yeah. And you never know what you're going to happen.
Anything can happen.
Yes. Okay. So, everybody, have a fabulous day. And if you want to reach out to us, please do. And if not, we'll see you next week.
Have an awesome day.
Bye.